Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. Welcome. So now we are seeing this nectar of instruction given by Rupa Goswami. So I feel, I think all of you, I don't know, we are not actually chanting together Prabhupada Pranam Mantra. So let us chant Prabhupada Pranam Mantra and Rupa Goswami's Pranam Mantra together, because the author of this book is Rupa Goswami. Let us worship him before we actually get into the book's further details. Maybe this one thing we missed, but we should do it. Please repeat after me. Namo Vishnupadaya, all of you know, so please chant together with me. The next Rupa Goswami Pranam, once I chant, you can actually repeat it. Okay. We'll start Prabhupada Pranam Mantra. Okay, 1, 2, 3, start. Namo
Vishnupadaya Krishnaprasthaya Bhutale Bhaktivedanta Swaminiti Namiti Namaste Saraswati
Devi Gauravani Pracharine Vishesha Shunyavadi Shatatarine.
Very good. Now we'll chant Rupa Goswami's Pranam Mantra. Repeat after me. Sri Chaitanya Manobhishtam
Sri Chaitanya Manobhishtam
Stapitam Yena Bhutale
Stapitam Yena
Bhutale
Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam
Vayam
Swayam
Rupa
Rupa
Kadamahyam
Tadati Swapadantikam.
Dadati Swapadantikam.
So Rupa Goswami established whatever is in the heart of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Rupa Goswami was able to read and he established. Okay. So before going further, I would like to ask from you. There are 3 kinds of devotees who were specified in 5th verse. So can any of you say who are the 3 kind of devotees? Okay, one devotee, one kind of devotee you say.
Adhikari.
Kanishtadhikari. Very good. Another?
Madhyamadhikari.
Madhyamadhikari. Okay. The other one? Uttamadhikari. Okay. Now, how to deal with Kanishtadhikari?
Pay obeisances in mind.
Very good. Only pay obeisances in the mind only. Very good. How about Uttamadhikari?
We should serve
faithfully serve and hear from Samadhikari. Ready to always try to serve faithfully.
Associate and faithfully serve. Both.
Yes.
As much as possible, we are running behind Guru Maharaj. People may think we are crazy. So many important things to do. No. When the pure devotee is available in the world, if Prabhupada is available right now, won't you run behind him? Because wherever he is going to talk about Krishna. He is going to give you something. Same with Guru Maharaj. So, pure devotee association is very, very, very important. One should associate with and faithfully serve the pure devotee who is advanced in undeviated devotional service. Very good. Now, Madhyamadhikari.
we should pay respectful obeisances.
Very good. Now, how do you find out if somebody is a Kanishtadhikari?
He's more
interested in just worshipping the deities in the temple and does not know how to properly deal with devotees.
Okay. Any more?
Also, he is attached to women, intoxication, and these 2 things are
Yes, he has not come out of material interest.
attachments.
Good. How do you identify a Madhyamadhikari? What is the first basic fact?
Madhyamadhikari is, yes, Prabhu.
So Madhyamadhikari has uh, highest object of love as the deity of Lord, and he don't have the conclusive truth about the ultimate means Krishna consciousness. The conclusion
He
truth,
knows.
just like
He knows, but means okay, fine. There is one very, very basic truth about Madhyamadhikari. The definition of Madhyamadhikari basically starts with one basic thing. What is that?
He executes the orders given, assigned by his spiritual master.
That means he has the spiritual master.
Yes, he is
They are
initiated.
initiated.
Even the Kanishta Adhikari is also initiated. Madhyamadhikari is also initiated. He is the midway of devotional service.
Where is that it is written Kanishta Adhikari is initiated?
Yes, he is the initiated, Diksha initiation, and is called as neophyte devotee, but it is like that.
Where it
Mataji,
is,
here it is written
in the,
Kanishka Adhikari is a neophyte who has received Harinam initiation from his spiritual
Initiation.
master
And
and
just
okay.
started
assigned by
chanting.
Guru Nanak. Yes.
So, one thing you should know, actual initiation according to scriptures is the Brahmanical initiation which is received with the secret mantra. Because very simple, I'll tell you, the initiation, what is the mantra you are receiving in the first initiation?
Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna
Mahamantra.
Mahamantra.
Do you know that mantra before initiation? Have you chanted it?
Yes.
Yes.
But when you receive from a pure devotee, that nama can give you prema. Whereas the nama which is chanted by you just like that, it can give you liberation, mukti. Mukti means surely Harinam will save you. So escaping out of the material world is guaranteed if you are chanting. But when you get initiated, Harinam initiated by a spiritual master, that same Hare Krishna Mahamantra which you chanted before, even the previous day, previous minute, you are going to receive initiation from spiritual master. On the way, you're going to get initiation also, you may be chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra. But now you're authoritatively getting from your guru, so that can give you prema. So this prema is the ultimate goal. Mukti is not the ultimate goal. So when we see nectar of devotion, we will see that moksha lagata kriti. A devotee is not interested in liberation. Whether I am in the material world or in the spiritual world, I want your service. This is what he will ask. I love you so much, Prabhu. I just want to serve you, Prabhu. That's all. And he, in material world or spiritual world, he want to be involved in the service only.
Mataji,
Yeah?
can I ask one thing?
Yes.
If one is not initiated,
Okay.
so there is this risk of falling down into lower species. So won't it be difficult for him to even be liberated?
Actually, if you see the pastime of in Bhagavatam, if you see the pastime of Gajendra, he is from a lower species. He became an elephant. Okay, so he was a very, very big king or something in the previous life. At that time, he has learned a song glorifying the Supreme Personality of Godhead. But somehow, due to his some karma, he became Gaja Indra. Gaja Indra means very, very big elephants. There are many elephants, but the breed of elephant in which he was there was the topmost level of elephants, very tall, high, with great tufts and trunks. Like this Tuscan trunk is very, very big, and he had 1,000 wife elephants. Like that, he went with his children, everybody, to bathe in the river. But because the crocodile, that was another Gandharva who got cursed, he actually caught hold of Gajendra's feet. And when he was crying, the last life, what he chanted, that mantra, that sloka, related to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, he was able to remember. Actually, he fought for over 1,000 years, thousands of years in demigod times. But the crocodile was not leaving also, and crocodile was continuously getting its food, whereas the elephant was not eating. It didn't get its food, and elephant is out of its own field. That is, elephant is an earthly animal. It lives in the earth, whereas the crocodile is a water animal. It is living in water. So the crocodile continued to live in water, so it felt more comfortable. So, but we should know that here Gajendra is remembering the last life, whatever he has done. Then he saw the Supreme, then what he did is, he took a lotus and looked at the sky and offered to the Supreme Lord and chanted that particular prayer in his own language, whatever. He was able to remember. Then the Supreme Lord appeared. Personally, he saw the Supreme Lord eye to eye. And then when the Supreme Lord cut the crocodile's head, then the crocodile became a Gandharva, saying that I was also cursed. And then Gajendra, he was able to be liberated. Anybody? Kuntimanani is telling, Bhavatat darshanam astya apunar bhava darshanam. Means, Bhavasagara means birth and death cycle. Punarbhava cycle means again and again birth and death. But Kunti is telling, if you take darshan of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna, if anybody looks at you, they will never have another birth. So sometimes their spiritual body is not fully developed, so they may be as a muktatma, they will be roaming around. So mukti doesn't mean mukti doesn't mean leaving this body and going into spiritual world. Mukti means he will be out of the material pangs. He won't be affected by 3 modes of material nature. He'll be living here, Nitya Siddha. Like Prabhupada, is he a muktatma or baddhatma? He's a muktatma. But to look, he looked like us. What prasadam he ate? The same which we eat. Where he slept, similar to us. His entire lifestyle was similar to us. But his internal consciousness is completely liberated. And when he performs the activity or when he speaks, guna karma. So when he is doing those activities, you can find out that this person is beyond material because he is not touching matter. He is 100% able to keep himself in Krishna conscious only. 100%. Then we see that liberated soul. So liberation doesn't mean that you're leaving the material world. You're here in some species. Like Gajendra was in a particular species. And during Lord Chaitanya's childhood pastimes, one Brahmana comes and cooks at home and offers to Salagram like this. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu comes and eats it, just a small baby Nimai. And then the Brahmana gets frustrated after some time. Then he asks, then Lord shows the form of Krishna and saying that life after life you have been worshipping me without any expectation. Now I decided to show myself to you like that. So like this, so a person may be living in this earth. In Ishopanishad also, a similar person is described in the first 2 verses. In the first verse, in this way, a person can keep on be living for thousands of years like that. So one can be live a fish but doesn't touch water. They live in the material world, but they don't touch water. Visuddha Sattva, they live. Like how Krishna appears in this material world. And he was visible to the eye of even Duryodhana and all. The Duryodhana and all 100% had material body only. But they were able to see Krishna. So that the Sattvam, the Suddha Sattva platform in which Krishna is residing, so that's called Vasudeva Sattvam. A person who is dedicatedly serving the Supreme Lord, he will attain that Vasudeva Sattva platform. Even when we take Brahmanical initiation, there are 7 mantras which are given. The first mantra is Gayatri, and that will make us transcend the material existence when we chant. The moment we are chanting the first Gayatri, we are transcending the material world, because after that only you can connect with Krishna, right? Without entering to spiritual world, how will you connect to transcendental personalities? First, for that you should become transcendental. A transcendental and can speak to another transcendental. So before chanting any of the other Gayatris, first we qualify us by chanting the Brahma Gayatri, which will liberate us from the material bondage. At that moment, we are in the liberated state. So liberation doesn't generally mean going and merging with Brahman or leaving the body only. Despite living in the same body, one can be liberated. If you ask if Guru Maharaj is a conditioned soul or liberated soul, naturally he is a liberated soul. So it is not necessary we leave the body. Any particular species, one can be a devotee. Is that okay?
Yes, Mother. Thank you.
Always remember that we are not the body, we are spirit soul. So any species, the external, you're riding a bicycle or you're riding a bike or you're riding a car or a truck or an aeroplane, doesn't matter. Vehicle is a vehicle. When you come out, the pilot also, the driver also, you also, the school boy who's going, everybody is human being at last. Same way, everybody is spirit soul at last, and we may wear some different dresses, but that doesn't affect the devotional service process. Okay.
Mataji, also Jagannath Prabhu said Kanishka Adhikari, actually in the purport, Kanishka Adhikari is not involved in intoxication or any of that. Only that Prakrita Sagajiyas, they chant and still involved. I think.
Actually, neophyte, very simple to understand. Oh, very good. Let me check. Just a second. Just a second. Okay. Okay. You had anything thicker? No.
No.
Hari Bol. Sorry. Hare Krishna. So, yeah, you are telling that, yeah. So they are materially attached. They are not fully come out of see, one thing you should understand, how to see the Kanishta Adhikari, Madhyama Adhikari, Uttama Adhikari. Already we discussed this in Ishopanishad. The overall idea is, it is the division of faith. How do you judge who's a Kanishta Adhikari? Depends on the faith. And his faith is so thin that he will be convinced in Krishna consciousness. If somebody else is coming and talking something he is trying to convince, this person will leave it and go into that path. And again another person will convince, he will go in that path. So his faith is very tender. So these, all the three, Kanishta Adhikari, Madhyama Adhikari, Uttama Adhikari, is judged not just based on activities. Sometime he may be initiated, sometime may not be initiated, but mostly not initiated, if I understand properly. Generally not initiated. Madhyama Adhikari starts by initiation because he has invested his faith on the spiritual master. So the faith is stronger to promise lifelong oath. So if somebody is promising for a lifelong oath, he is serious about it. So his faith is more in the process. And his Madhyama Adhikari, his individual faith is unshakable. Whereas Kanishta Adhikari's individual faith is shakable. Whereas Madhyama Adhikari's individual faith is not shakable at all. He will never give up Krishna consciousness. He will be thoroughly convinced, but sometimes he will not be able to convince others. He won't be able to win an argument related to scriptural ideas. So, but Uttama Adhikari, his personal faith is also very strong and he can convince others also. to take up this Krishna conscious process. So that is the main difference. Faith, based on faith only this division happens. Activity comes later. But typically Madhyamadhikari is 100%, every Madhyamadhikari is initiated devotee only, we call as Madhyamadhikari. And I want to check where it is mentioned that the Kanishta Adhikari is initiated. Is it written in the purport?
In the starting, Mataji.
Okay. Maybe he is initiated, but still he may be neophyte. Text 5. Initiated devotees can be first initiated. Huh? In order to intelligently apply the sixfold loving reciprocation mentioned in the previous verse, one must. So you see that these verses are connected. Let me share it. Wait. See how this sloka is connected. This verse is connected with the previous verse. Because directly there are 6 loving dadadi pradigrahnadi gukhyamakyadi prachati. We saw bhunte bhojayate chaiva sadvidam priti lakshanam. So here Prabhupada starts the purport saying that, okay, fine, this the exchanges, whom will you do this to? So in order to intelligently apply the sixfold loving reciprocations mentioned in the previous verse, one must select a proper person with careful discrimination. Everybody is a devotee, everybody we should mix, everybody, not like that. Guru Maharaj, one time he told one Mataji, she said, I asked a question that I'm not able to mix with certain devotees. I feel I don't belong to them. And is that an offense to them? It is, I don't have any specific problems with them, but when I go there, I feel out of place and not my thing. So Guru Maharaj very clearly said one should associate with like-minded devotees. This is very important to have a genuine friendship. So in order to intelligently apply the sixfold loving reciprocation mentioned in the previous verse, one must select proper person with careful discrimination. Srila Rupa Goswami therefore advised we should meet with the Vaishnavas in a proper way, appropriate way according to their particular status. In this verse, let us still deal with the 3 types of devotee, Kanishta Adhikari, Madhyama Adhikari. Kanishta Adhikari is a neophyte who has received Harinama initiation from the spiritual master. Okay. So, the word devotee means initiated devotee. That's all. That's all. Devotee is divided into 3 types. What are all the 3 types? Kanishta Adhikari, Madhyama Adhikari, Uttama Adhikari. Now, Kanishta means the lowest or inferior or young or simple or new. That is what Kanishta. Sorry, that is not Kanishta. Kanishta Adhikari is a neophyte who has received Harinam initiation from the spiritual master and trying to chant the holy name of Krishna. So, basically, to call somebody a devotee itself, you require Harinam initiation. Kanishta Adhikari is the lowest in that. Madhyama Adhikari is higher and Uttama Adhikari is the topmost. So in order to call oneself a Kanishta Adhikari itself, one should have been initiated, Harinam initiated. And I was telling that Harinam initiation, of course, is very, very powerful. It gives a lot of effects, but still, taking Brahmana initiation is not optional, it is mandatory. But not immediately after Harinam, you should take some years to get ready and then take up. Yeah, yes, Akash.
So what we call to person who didn't take initiation and they are chanting? Means which?
Yeah, they are not in only one word. Again and again, I used to ask the same question. What in English the word initiate mean? Initiation, initiate the process, initiate. We are telling initiate. Initiate means what in English?
To start.
Yes.
Yes.
Spiritual life starts with spiritual master. If spiritual master is missing, there is not spiritual life. It is simply practice dummy program. But it's a practice program. It gives you some sukriti. Unless you accept a spiritual master, bona fide spiritual master, it is not considered a proper, genuine, authorized devotional service. One should practice Krishna conscious under the guidance of the bona fide spiritual master. So, in the mind, we respect such a person. A Madhyam Adhikari has received a spiritual initiation from spiritual master and has been fully engaged by him in transcendental loving service of the Lord. So one more place Prabhupada is writing that this Brahmana initiation is mandatory and that gives a lot more power. But it after Harinam, at least 2-3 years, 4 years must be over. At least minimum, I think 2 years should be over. Some temples, they have a wrong idea that the Brahmana initiation is received only for the pujaris. When a preacher or somebody goes and asks, okay, I like this, Brahmana initiation is required. Why do you require? You're not involved in the deity worship. You're preaching. Why you're so in that way. But actually, it's not that. The Brahmana initiation is mandatory, but at a particular matured state, it has to be taken. So Madhya Adhikari should be considered to be situated in the midway of devotional service. Whereas Uttama Adhikari or highest devotee is one who is very advanced in devotions. So Uttama Adhikari is not interested in blaspheming others. His heart is completely clean and he has attained the realized state of unallowed Krishna consciousness. According to Srila Rupa Goswami, association and service of such Mahabhagavata or perfect Vaishnava are the most desirable. Okay, I have further quizzes to ask. Can somebody stay permanently as a Kanishta Adhikari or Madhyam Adhikari?
No, one should
No,
elevate. Yeah.
no, I think we came across this in one of the classes about the same thing. Madhyama Adhikari is not fully situated that he could fall down. Uttama Adhikari never falls down, and Kanishta can move to Madhyama, and both is possible. I think it was there in one of the previous classes, Mataji.
Yes. Okay.
But for uh, I read in the purport that even if he's Uttama and he becomes envious, he may fall down.
Yes. Yes. Very good. Okay. First, the Kanishta Adhikari starts by worshipping the deity in the temple, as Disha said. A person who's and he'll be very, very dedicatedly involved in the service of the deity, but he won't know the discrimination between devotees. He doesn't know how to behave. With the neophyte also, he'll behave the same way. With senior also, he'll behave the same way. This is not the symptom of upgradation. This is a symptom of being stagnant. Because one should be able to discriminate. So our people, that is not wrong. To discriminate. Because you can see discrimination here, Kanishta, Madhyama, Uttama. So one therefore has to rise to himself to the position of Kanishta Adhikari to the platform of Madhyadi. It's mandatory. Gradually do it, but you have to do. So the Madhyama Adhikari worships the Supreme Personality of Godhead as the highest object of love, not out of formality, some salagram, something like that. After Guru goes and the worship stops, not like that. Right? So, a devotee who is worship the Supreme Lord as the highest object of love. That is also. So, two things are there. How do they approach the Supreme Lord and what is their faith? even on the scriptures. Now, Uttamadhikari can easily not defeat everybody, he can defeat them by affection, and he can convert them into devotees. That is the potency given from the spiritual master's side. Rest of it, taking that mercy, we execute and we get some sukriti. Okay. What else can I ask? How do you behave with a common public people who are not initiated?
Hare Krishna Mataji, if they are willing to accept this message of Krishna consciousness and they are means, innocent but have little faith, they are willing to listen, then we can guide them, means the Adhikari, Madhyam Adhikari.
So, what Jagannath Jivapalak Prabhu said is very good. By association, they'll improve. Jagannath Jivapalak Prabhu got confused between neophyte devotee and a person who is not Harinam initiated. So, those who are innocent but simply carried away by the bad association should be shown favor. If they are eager to receive proper instruction, so the whole world is with the bad association. The whole world, nobody is interested, common public. If they have eager to receive proper instruction, as Abhiram Prabhu said, from devotees, they are ready to listen and practice and follow gradually, not immediately in one day. You cannot see great change. But those neophyte devotees who are actually initiated by bona fide spiritual master and are seriously engaged in carrying out the orders of spiritual master should be offered respectful obeisances. Same neophyte devotee, also bona fide, if he is properly initiated and practicing everything nicely, he should also be offered obeisances. So there is no discrimination in the Krishna conscious movement, right? So that also is mentioned. One second. So Prabhupada is telling that if somebody is actually interested in Krishna consciousness and is showing interest to be initiated, so Prabhupada is telling we accept him as a disciple for the chanting of the holy name of the Lord. So when the neophyte devotee is actually initiated and engaged in devotional service by the order of spiritual master, he should be accepted immediately as a bona fide Vaishnava. So this is essential. Okay. So I'll summarize this for you. 3 levels of devotees. So already we were seeing the 6 loving exchanges. Just a second. Can you see?
Yes, Ji.
So there are 6 loving exchanges, dadadi, pradigrahnadi, guhyamakyadi, prachati. And there are 3 kinds of devotees. So here, whenever there is a dealing of preeti, love, in intimate dealings, these 6 activities are executed. Now the categories, this already we saw, I think, some most of it. This already we saw. Contributing or distributing the holy name of the Lord, all these things. That's also donation. And Kumte Bhojayate Chaiva is just give prasadam and take prasadam. Give gifts. Take the gifts. So already we saw that there is no milk and bananas. Milk and banana, if you keep feeding the snake, the poison will increase. So avoiding association totally is Mayavadi typically. or any non-devotee for that fact. Already it is mentioned, any non-devotee we should avoid. Okay, this is what I wanted to show you today. So definition of Kanishta Adhikari, somebody can read?
A
Neophyte.
neophyte who has received the Harinam initiation from the spiritual master and is trying to chant the holy name of Krishna. One whose faith is soft and teachable is called a neophyte, but by gradually following the process, he will rise to the platform of first-class devotee.
Very good. So all of you understood the important point. His faith is very soft. So based on the faith only this division is made. How much faith one has. Okay, Madhyamadhikari, read about Madhyamadhikari.
Has received spiritual initiation from the spiritual master and has been fully engaged by him in the transcendental loving service of the Lord.
Okay, got it? So spiritual master's guidance is fully engaged in transcendental loving service. And now we come to Uttamadhikari. So he can be recognized by his ability to convert many fallen souls to Vaishnavism. Many people he has followers. They are ready to chant when he requests, are you chanting? Would you please chant like this. As soon as you say, he says, immediately one will be ready to take up the chanting. So this is the highest devotee, Uttamadhikari. So Guru Maharaj may not teach us the complete process, but we started during that time and we completing today, right? Yeah. What am I telling? Cha, Gaura Hari, eyes are big. Just a second. Yeah. Okay, somebody read the Uttamadhikari portion.
Highest devotee is one who is very advanced in devotional service, not interested in blaspheming others. His heart is completely clean, and he has attained the realized state of unalloyed Krishna consciousness, very seriously engaged in the service of the Lord, and strictly following all the regulative principles, chanting the prescribed number of rounds on japa beads, and always thinking of how to expand the Krishna consciousness movement.
Expanding the Krishna consciousness movement. So Prabhupada, Guru Maharaj, always thinking how to expand, how to expand, how to expand. One time somebody was telling like how Prabhupada is so great and the disciple should be humble. He should not try to do more than Guru like this. So we found a lecture in which Prabhupada is telling that what my Guru did, I did many times. Evlo time pa? Whatever my guru did, I did 10 times, 10 times more than my guru. And you people, you are all Westerners and all, you have more technology. You should not do 10 times more than me. You should do 100 times more than me. That's what Prabhupada is telling. So sometimes we see that no, see, Prabhupada is brought down. The disciple is getting all the glory. He is expanding too much and all. You should not do that like that. So Prabhupada has not come to terminate, he has come to expand. So he's a good disciple, then he will expand the movement. So if you see Uttam Adhikari, he'll always be thinking how to expand the Krishna consciousness. Very good.
Mataji, in one Chaitanya I have just heard that one person asked Chaitanya Mahaprabhu who is devotee. So he said that one anyone who chanted one time Hare
Mm.
Krishna Mahamantra, then he is a devotee. Then second time that devotee came, so he said, he asked who is devotee. So Mahaprabhu said that the one who will chant continuously, means 24 hours, so he is devotee. So again that third person again come and ask Chaitanya Mahaprabhu who is devotee. Then he said that by seeing that person, if one is becoming devotee, then he is
Mm.
devotee.
Mm.
So um, means what is then definition of Kanisa Adhikari? Means I am getting confused that
I didn't hear the last portion. What is that? What is the Kanishta Adhikari? What?
Kanisa Adhikari means if a person chant if only one time Hare Krishna Mahamantra, he is also a devotee.
No. See, there Chaitanya Mahaprabhu specifically doesn't mention Kanishta Adhikari, Madhyama Adhikari. First year, that there are from South India, there is a Kurma Deshas. From there, a set of Brahmanas always come every year for Rath Yatra. So every year they ask the question. So first year they ask the question, how to identify a Vaishnava. There are many people. So how do I know? South India and all very wrong concept. Those who worship Vishnu is a Vaishnava because Vish and Vaish both are actually rhyming with each other. Not like that. So they wanted to really know who is a Vaishnava because Chaitanya Mahaprabhu asked them to associate with Vaishnava, Sir Vaishnava. So who is a Vaishnava? So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says anybody who's chanting is Vaishnava. But they were not satisfied even once. So they came back again. Then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, no, I didn't tell that. So you, what I was saying. What I was saying, what is the question? I forgot. Sorry.
Chaitanya
Means
Mahaprabhu.
Kanishta Adhikari
I
and
actually
Chaitanya
what
Prabhu.
is the definition of Kanishta Adhikari?
Yes. So specifically there Kanishta Adhikari, Madhyama Adhikari, Uttama Adhikari is not mentioned. He doesn't mention Chaitanya Mahaprabhu directly. But reasonably it can be understood. Somebody who is chanting, committed to chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra, then somebody is very constantly chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra. The third is by seeing one, other people are chanting or he's aspiring others to chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Hmm? So he is considered Uttamadhikari, not Uttamadhikari. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is telling the gradation, better devotee, like this.
So that is not about these three, Kanishta Adhikari, Madhyama Adhikari, Uttama Adhikari.
That is not related with? Uh, may
This,
not be directly. Little bit may be matching the Uttamadhikari definition matches. A certain portion of Madhyamadhikari matches. So just like that, in this next year they came, they asked who is a Vaishnava. Then he
yeah,
said,
so
Chaitanya said, constantly who is chanting is a Vaishnava. Again, consecutively, next year when they came, they again asked who is a Vaishnava. That time Chaitanya Mahaprabhu told about Uttama Bhakta. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's all activities are Uttama Bhakta's activity.
so my question is who is Vaishnava? So I mean, who is then Vaishnava means this is the lowest Vaishnava, right? Kanishta Adhikari.
Yes.
No, Mataji means I am asking that if I will in simple word if say that who is Vaishnava, then we will say this first this Kanishta Adhikari definition, right? Or we
Not
will
Kanishta
only
Adhikari.
say
It is
that
not a typical definition of a Kanishta Adhikari. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu didn't answer anything first year. First year he just said that anybody who is chanting, even once if they chant, we can call them Vaishnava only. So they were next year when they came, they again asked. It is not at one particular point of time only Chaitanya Mahaprabhu told. And next year they were not satisfied. They came back again. There may be matter devotee. Then again he said. So maybe it represents a simple characteristics that in the level of devotees, they are in the lowest grade. That is what it is. Okay. So I have more to talk on this tomorrow. We'll have some group discussion also regarding this. So we'll wind up here. because all of us have to get up for Mangalarti. We'll wind up here and I'll discuss, we'll have more discussion because it's very practical in everyday life. So we'll have one or two discussions based on the purport, group discussions and presentations. Be ready. Okay. We'll wind up for now. We'll offer our loving, respectful obeisances unto all the Vaishnava devotees of the Lord, Srila Prabhupada and Guru Maharaj, all specially. Let us offer Vaishnava Pranam. Let's start. Vancha
Vanchakalpatarubhyascha
कृपया
एव च
नाम्भ्यो नमो
वैष्णवेभ्यो
नमः
नमो नमः।
अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की जय।
जय
हम आचार्य श्री हरिदास ठाकुर की जय।
जय
श्रील प्रभुपाद की जय।
जय।
प्रभुपाद की जय।
जय।
नमो रसिकनाथ।